Asma Jahangir is an icon in Pakistan and in South Asia, in fact, at the global level, as a symbol of resistance and as perhaps the bravest human rights defender that Pakistan has known. Her career in human rights has, spans over decades. As a young woman, she stood up against a military dictator in the late 60s and early 70s, General Yahya Khan, and she fought that case in the court as well. And at the end, the court declared him as a usurper of power. Since then, she has defended women's rights. She has defended the downtrodden, the minorities, the persecuted communities. She has spoken truth to power, to military dictators, to civil governments, to judges. And in a way, she symbolized the conscience of Pakistan. And her death leaves a huge vacuum, which, unfortunately, we don't know how that will be filled, because one could always look up to her for saying what had to be said at the right time in front of a very powerful state.
During all of her time working to better human rights in the country, did she work on her own? She must surely have had some kind of organization, some sort of base which will carry on her work. You say that people are worried about how that work may continue, but she couldn't have been doing it all on her own, could she?
Certainly, certainly. She leaves a very formidable legacy in terms of Human Rights Commission of Pakistan and AGHS, which is a legal aid services group that she set, and hundreds and thousands of people that she inspired and who worked with these organizations. But you see, the personal qualities of Asma and her fearlessness remain unmatched. So it is perhaps that sense of grief and shock that has hit Pakistan's civil society, its politicians, and a lot of thinking Pakistanis, because she was one of her own kind, and that has been the saddest of this development that we are trying to process and make sense of.
What is the situation of human rights in Pakistan now that she's gone, that she won't be able to address? What needs to be done after her death?
Well, you see, a lot of people have been saying, if you look at social media, they've been saying we needed her the most at this juncture because Pakistan is going through a democratic transition for last many years. And still we have lots of issues. We have issues with minority rights. We have issues of missing persons, of judicial excesses, of executive excesses. And there's a lot of long list of human rights agenda that have to be picked up and advocated and followed up. And that is certainly, her presence will be missed. But there are many other human rights defenders and activists in Pakistan who have worked with her, who followed her, and I'm sure that they will carry on the legacy. But as I said earlier, it will be difficult to fill in that void. And it's a huge void in terms of the personality, in terms of her leadership, in terms of her dynamism, and not just in Pakistan. She was very active in the South Asian scene. She was a UN Special Rapporteur for Iran. She was speaking up for the rights of Iranian women and the human rights excesses that have been going on for the past few years. Mm-hmm. She had also served on many UN committees. So, Asma's work had actually grown global, and that is why the world is mourning her passing away.